Hello everyone, my name is Aleksandr Guzenko, and today I'm gonna talk about architecture, in particular front-end architecture. Probably everyone faced with such difficulties when in large application, when it becomes larger and larger, it becomes harder to maintain it. And that's the problem because sometimes we need really large application. And we also want to well-maintainable and well-scalable applications. Today, we're going to cover such topics as key qualities of a good application, what the difference between good applications and bad ones. Then we're going to talk about problems of modern front-end and why just we can't write only good applications, maintainable and scalable applications. Next, we, of course, going to cover some ways how to solve that problems. And in final part, I want to tell you about feature slice design and how it can help you solve this problem. That's not the only one solution, but it's my favorite one. Just a few words about myself. I have more than 8 years of experience in software development. And several years ago, I realized that many developers don't know architecture well. But architecture is one of the most important part of whole software development process. So I decided that my mission is to popularize front-end architecture. And so here we go today. Let's talk about key qualities of a good application. First one, it's of course business efficiency, because applications needs for receiving money to the business and for earning money for the business. Of course, first and the most important one is business efficiency. Next one is scalability. Scalability in front-end is about how fast you can add new feature or maybe new module to your application. And the last one, it's maintainability. It's about how easy it is to make changes and maintain your application in a long term. So, first one, business efficiency, it's not under our responsibility. It's more about good and bad business decisions. So, it's not about software development. And we're going to cover second and third ones, scalability and maintainability. So, let's focus on these two. Why is it important to be well scalable and well maintainable? Let's talk about scalability. When it's easy to add new functionality, so it becomes cheaper, and we all want to spend less time releasing new feature, and we all want that it need to be easy process, not really hard. So what about maintainability? When an application is well maintainable, the increase in development costs remains small. So it allows for the implementation of a large application in the future. And vice versa, it's bad maintainable. So sometimes it may be some point when it is so hard to maintain and so hard to change the functionality that it becomes easier to rewrite whole application, and we all don't want this scenario. So what the problems with that two main qualities? And the problem is that it's one of the most difficult tasks is to release your application, to develop it, that determine the balance between scalability, maintainability, and development speed. And there are several reasons for that. First one, unclear future at the beginning. We all need to do some important architectural decisions at the beginning, not at the end of development process. But the thing that at the beginning we have the least information about the feature or the application at all. And during the development process, we receive more and more information, and the most of information we have only at the end of the development process. The most important decisions we have to make at the beginning when we have the least information. Next problem, requirements may change too often. And unfortunately, we can't do anything with that. Probably everyone faced with such problem when you are in the middle of development process and your manager comes to you and said, we decided to change the concept of this feature. Just follow the new concept. And you release that to follow the new concept, you need to rewrite most of your written code. And that's the problem. And the next one, lack of time. Unfortunately, we don't have infinity of time. And if we could to have to do it, probably we could create the better decisions. But unfortunately, we don't have infinity of time, such as we don't have infinity of money. And that's the problem too. But there is another problem, that every application is unique. And the best solution for one application doesn't guarantee you that it will work for another. So every time you need to reinvent your architectural decisions for every new task, new feature, and so on. But what we can do with that? First of all, I want to make a little mark that for every company, every person, and every team, there may be its own good solutions, but here are the most universal ones for me. First one, you need to become a master in architecture. This is the longest and the hardest way. You need to know many architectural patterns, architectural concepts. Of course, you need to make a lot of mistakes and to solve them. But in final, you will so master in architecture that every architectural task, it will be easy for you and you will do it really fast. But it doesn't guarantee you that your development team will also have such architectural knowledges, and probably you will need to control them harder. But this is good solution. Next one, use the best known practices. It's easier than first one because you don't need whole architectural patterns and a lot of architectural things. You just need to know a few of them and use them everywhere. It's if your only tool is a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. That's the same. It's not the bad solution also, because using some architectural patterns is better than not using them at all, but not perfect also. And last one, for me, this is the most efficient solution. Use out-of-the-box solutions. So, but what is it out-of-the-box solutions? Let's talk about on the example. And my example is feature slice design. This is an architectural methodology. And let's talk about what is it, feature slice design. As another architectural methodologies, it's just a compilation of rules and conventions on organizing a code. But it has some important parts. First one, feature slice design based on solid principles. And you, of course, need to know the solid principles. Solid principles are the basic in Turing, and if you don't know about solid, I really recommend it to learn about that more, because this is the base. Next one, public API. Public API is pretty small architectural pattern, but also pretty important because it can help you to write maintainable, scalable code. Next one, it's low coupling and high cohesion. In this diagram, you can see what does it mean. On the y-axis, you can see coupling, and the X you can see cohesion. And there are many combinations of them, and the best one when low coupling and high cohesion. And here you can see why it's better. If you don't know about this pattern, I also recommend you to learn about that little more. And last one is feature slice design own rules. And let's talk what is own rules feature slice design. First one, in the feature slice design, your whole application needs to divide into several layers. There are 6 possible layers: shared, entities, features, widgets, pages, and app. Notice that in the screen there is process layer, but it was in the first version of feature slice design, and today we have second version. And in the second version, process layer is deprecated. Keep it in your mind. Some layers can have its own slices. For example, entities layer can have some such slices as user, post, comment, and so on. And every slice you can divide into some segments: UI, model, API, and so on. And let's dive deep into layers. Let's start with shared layers. It's the most abstract layer, and here you need to put some basic parts of your application which don't know anything about business logic. For example, it is buttons, selects, inputs, maybe some layouts, and so on. Next layer is entities. Entities, it's a business entity, and for example, comment, post, user, and so on. Here you can put your UI, some methods, how to fetch data from the backend, and so on. Next layer is features. Features, it's about actions, about user interactions. For example, like comment, repost comment, delete post, update user profile data, and so on. Actions. Next one is widgets layer. Widgets layer, it's about compositioning. And here you can compose your entities and features together to make, for example, in this example, here you can see post. Post contains from entity post and some features, and repost, comment, download, and so on. Next one is pages layer. Pages layer, it's easy because it's just a page. What do you want to see inside your page? It's like also compositioning, but high-level compositioning. Whole page layout you can put here in this layer. And last one, application or app layer. Here you may put your global objects, global styles, global types, some providers like routing, theming, so on, and export your main object, your application object, if we talk, for example, about React. Of course, at the beginning, it may be difficult to divide your every feature to these layers, segments, and so on. And their core team of feature slice design created some decomposition cheat sheet, which can help you to decompose your feature. And you can use it on their own website. Yes, they have a website. Feature Slice Design has a good website with a lot of information. I'll give you a link at the end of my speech. And let's return to the main questions of my today's speech. How feature slice design can help me to achieve maintainability and scalability? Firstly, this is a good combination of time-tested architectural patterns and principles with its own rules to solve modern front-end problems. What does it mean? It contains from a lot of architectural patterns, good patterns, and they work together in a synergy. So it's really good combination for me. But moreover, it was released, this architectural methodology released in 2020. So it's pretty new, and it was released in modern front-end era, and it could solve modern front-end problems. Next one, feature slice design has a big community and a website that can help onboard newcomers faster. You don't need to write your own documentation because it already written. And if you have a newcomer in your team, you just can send a link to feature slice design website, and that's it. Newcomer will read that information and will learn what is it. Next one. This is embodiment of the experience of many experienced development. Feature slice design has good support of core team. Yes, there is a core team in feature slice design that contribute to this methodology almost every week. And I know that guys, they really put a lot of effort to maintain this. And this is really good experience. They really experienced guys. Next one, feature slice design is suitable for projects of almost any size, from little to-do lists to big dashboard applications with hundreds or even millions lines of code. And finally, you don't need to reinvent new solutions every time. Once you learn about feature slice design and once you try to use it, you could use it everywhere, in every project, releasing every feature. And it is really convenient, and you don't need to reinvent solutions every time. So for me, that's it. And I really hope you are interested in feature slice design and more interested in architecture at all. And if you have some questions, just feel free to write me down in my LinkedIn or Gmail. And of course, I really recommend to visit Feature Slice Design website, even if you are not gonna use it, just to know what is it. And this is really important information. So thank you and have a good day. Bye.